Amazing. The review officer smiling.
It's actually to tell you that they are combat ready.
Robots with a and that robot's ability to detect the riders are Moka Ikachu, assistant ASP Kagoro Madaki, and of course they have 3 formations. And they will be carrying out the advanced drill parade. She's the 2 IC commander.
Whilst the BCG Morijade Bilkis back to be able to sustain this.
They will step out of the arena. At that point in time, Gabriel,
we expect that the IGP is.
I don't think I can even do that on a bicycle.
Wow. Your Excellency, Muhammadu Buhari, President, Commander of the
to most warmly welcome the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Federation of the Force, and reenact those practices which bind the citizens to their police and which elicit fond memories of the force. Many here will recall, with great nostalgia, the good old days of Police Week, when police stations were thrown open for members of the public to walk into and interact with their policemen and officers, when police commanders and smartly dressed policewomen will proudly interact with the youth community and security stakeholders in the society, and when the expertise of the force will be showcased in form of demonstrations by versatile police motorcycle riders, proud and small turned-out officers and men on ceremonial parade, and breathtaking demonstrations by police dogs. But by today's grand event, the force leadership is giving practical meaning By today's grand event, the force leadership is giving practical meaning to its firm determination to restore the lost glory of the force and reenact those practices which bind the citizens to their police and elicit fond memories of the force. The dedication of a number of days and packaging of a strings of events to commemorate the Police Week is a standard practice among police agencies across the world. Such events are usually capped with a ceremonial parade during which deserving police officers who have demonstrated exceptional courage and professional excellence in their line of duty are recognized and honored. Honors are also extended to officers who, in their commitments to their sacred functions of protection of lives and property, have laid down their own lives for others to live. In essence, the Police Week is a celebration of our history, as well as an opportunity for the force to reconnect with the people for a more effective policing. The essence is to remind police officers that their efficiency rests solely on their knowledge of history, to which they can bond with the people whom they are paid, trained, and directed to serve and protect. Inversely, on a day like this, the people also need to be reminded of the need to accept the fundamental facts that no matter the level of the private security contraption sown themselves, they still need to remember and appreciate that there exists a body of men and women whom they can trust and rely upon to protect them and the public space. Hence, while appreciating the challenges of the force over the years, the 2016 edition of Nigerian Police Week celebration is designed to break from the past and commence a new beginning that will treat members of the public as self-respecting, deserving customers who must always be kings in our policing world as we guide our relatively nascent democratic culture into sustainable heights. The journey we have embarked upon may appear slow and seemingly tenuous, but we must be courageous enough to commence the process of bridging the policing gap in our dear country by not only taking advantage of a day like this to undertake institutional soul-searching, but to reinvigorate the process of applying international best policing practices which emphasize community-led practices, technologically driven, rule of law guided, and intelligence-propelled policing virtues in our policing activities in Nigeria. Beyond this today, we remember and shall celebrate the heroics of our great police personalities like Chief Superintendent Chuma Ajunwa, the first Nigerian Olympic gold medalist, late Sunday Bada, a 400 meters gold medalist at Sydney Olympic 2000, Deputy Superintendent Samuel Peters, who placed Nigerian name on the international boxing map by winning the World Boxing Council Heavyweight Championship in 2008. We recognize the professionalism of Nigerian police contingents on international peacekeeping operations who in Namibia, East Timor, Liberia, Kosovo, Sierra Leone, Serbia, Montenegro, Haiti, Ivory Coast, Sudan, and Southern Sudan have not only advanced the foreign policy trust of our fatherland, but have won professional laurels for gallantry, zeal, and exceptional professional conduct as they join the rest of the world to restore global peace and order. These great professionals have in a number of instances paid the supreme sacrifice for global peace and security. Indeed, on a day like this, we remain united in remembering personnel of the force who have been fighting side by side their military colleagues as they advance our common national will to defeat terror elements that have in recent years by altering our national values in the Northeast and other parts of the country. We celebrate the gallantry of our women and men who daily engage deadly armed robbery gangs, kidnapping syndicates, murderers, fraudsters, rapists, and other heinous criminals who target our children and youth community. We in unison demonstrates our determination to take the criminal battle to the footsteps of elements that continue to threaten our peace and security, and remind the nation that with their support, their new police force vows to defeat the threat of terror and other internal security threats. On this day, we commend officers and men who, even in our institutional inadequacies, have continued to courageously display loyalty, courage, and zeal towards confronting internal insurgency. We recognize the sacrifice of officers and men who sweat it out under the scorching sun, the drizzling rains, and the cold nights to stay alert in order to ensure the safety and security of members of the citizens. We salute officers who resist temptations, reject inducements, and stand against threats and intimidation to firmly uphold justice. Ladies and gentlemen, today we recognize and encourage the unsung heroes of the force who uphold the tenets of the rule of law and respect for human rights in the discharge of their duties, and guide the weak and vulnerable through traffic safety and lay down their precious life for us all to live. Beyond all this, we also in this auspicious occasion pass a clear message to the criminal community that the wind of change is now blowing through the force. A cultural reorientation that is premised on adaptation of international best policing practices is emerging, and a police force that will display team spirit, loyalty, zeal, courage, civility, and renewed commitment towards confronting criminal elements hand in hand with the citizens is evolving. The Nigerian police family on these days recognizes its history, its glorious past. The force engages this unique occasion to reassure the federal government of its commitments to restoring its lost primacy and to assure the citizens of its determination to live the true meaning of the common saying, police is your friend. It is for these reasons that I wish to specially thank the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, for supporting our policing vision and for sparing time to share this moment with us. In my capacity as the Inspector General of Police, I wish to use this occasion to reassure Your Excellency of the loyalty of officers and men of the force and our firm determination to advance your vision of a professional, community-driven police force that will remain civil to the citizens, but potent enough to respond to any threats to our internal security and national cohesion. Finally, to our esteemed guests, I thank you most heartily for sharing the joy of our day and for joining us in our crusade for the rebirth of your police force. I wish you all safe journey to your respective destinations. Thank you, and may God bless you all.
Your Excellency, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, if your hands are not busy, for the Nigerian Police Force, for the Inspector General of Police, and pledging commitment to diligence, to duty, and to drive these with passion, can we call for another resounding applause for the IGP Solomon Egato Arase? Having listened to his address, I find it, and I consider this a very rare privilege, to be inviting the #1 citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the one who gives zero tolerance to corruption, the one who has promised and is already changing the way things are done in Nigeria. Your president, my president, our president, President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably represented by no less a person than the former Chief of Army Staff of the Federation, Minister of Interior, Lieutenant General Abdulrahman Dambazau, CFR, PhD, to at this point in time deliver the President's address. Can we please welcome His Excellency with a resounding applause and a standing ovation, please. Your Excellency, Mr. President, sir.
Quick march!
Representative of the Senate President, the representative of the Honorable Speaker, honorable ministers here present, Chairman Senate Committee on Police Affairs, Chairman House Committee on Police Affairs, representatives of the FCT Minister, the Inspector General of Police, Commandant National Defense College, service chiefs under the Ministry of Interior, representative of the Co-Marshal Federal Reef Safety, Royal Fathers here present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our friends of the media. I am Abdulrahman Dambazau, the Minister of Interior, hereby representing the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Muhammadu Buhari. The speech I'm going to read, I'm reading it on his behalf. Today's event represents a significant and commendable step by the police leadership to preserve the rich history and tradition of the Nigerian police. It also marks the day when the Nigerian police family across the country gives true meaning to the concept of community-driven policing. Beyond this, the Police Week celebration, the climax of which we are witnessing today, represents a unique opportunity for the nation to unite with the police in remembering and celebrating fallen heroes and heroines of the service who have gallantly laid down their lives in the line of protecting citizens and guaranteeing peace and internal security of our beloved nation. In addition, on this occasion, the police leadership and indeed the nation at large will acknowledge and honor serving police personnel that have demonstrated professional excellence, patriotism, courage, and extraordinary zeal as they strive to deliver their mandate. Ladies and gentlemen, effective policing
of a community is dependent on the level of security consciousness of the citizens and the strength of the synergy that exists between the policing agencies and the community. This explains why it is generally acknowledged that no police service in the world, no matter how well motivated, equipped, or trained, can successfully operate without the acceptance and support of the citizens. The need for a police system that is driven by community input in Nigeria has even become more imperative considering our normal national security challenges in which kidnapping, armed robbery, murder, transnational crimes, terrorism, and other organized crimes have evolved to threaten our national values and developmental strides. It is in acknowledgement of this that this administration rested the internal security architecture of the country on three major platforms. First is to restore the police primacy by enhancing the budgetary, human, institutional, and operational capacity of the policing service and giving a new orientation and direction to the police. Second is to sensitize citizens to their crucial roles within the national policing system. And third is to frontally address social factors like illiteracy, unemployment, poverty, drug abuse, and peer group influence, which trigger criminality within our communities. It is in furtherance to this that the federal government approved the recruitment of additional 10,000 police personnel and also approved funds for the takeoff of the exercise. The presidency has been assured that the exercise will commence under a transparent and credible process with effect from today, 1st April 2016. Aside addressing the national challenge of youth unemployment, this initiative will bridge the chronic manpower gap inherited by this regime in the Nigerian police. In carrying out this exercise, I expect the Nigerian police to put national interest in the forefront so that it will be in line with the reform agenda being pursued under the Ministry of Interior. I am pleased to know that in furtherance of the integration and reforms program of the new Ministry of Interior, that the Ministry of Interior Services Games is being planned for this year. The Games, which is to involve the Nigerian Police, Immigration, Prisons, Federal Fire Service, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, and the civilian staff of the ministry, when held, will not only engender a sense of unity and camaraderie among the services and civilian staff of the ministry, but will also enhance operational synergy amongst them. The Games should also provide another opportunity for identification of high-caliber sportsmen and women for Nigeria's national team. Furthermore, the federal government has funded the procurement of over 1,000 patrol vehicles and other logistics to strengthen the operational capacity of the Safer Highway Patrol Scheme and support the deployment of police personnel towards security stabilization and restoration of civil authority in the Northeast. In addition, the federal government has initiated actions aimed at giving effect to the concept of citizens-led policing and strengthening the technical intelligence capacity of the service as a strategic national approach towards addressing the challenge of highly organized crime on a sustainable basis. No nation thrives without security, and neither can a nation lay claim to security without efficient policing service. Consequently, this administration shall continue to support initiatives that will guarantee the reform and modernization of the Nigerian police. In this regard, no citizen should be in doubt of the firm determination of the federal government to bequeath to this nation a reformed, reoriented, well-trained, well-equipped, and highly motivated policing service. This dream can, however, only be attained with the support of the citizens. This remains a sacred civic responsibility which all citizens owe this country, especially at this time that we are re-energizing our counter-terrorism initiatives and working assiduously to protect the citizens from fear of crime and guarantee the safety and security of all Nigerians. Let me at this juncture commend the Inspector General of Police for sustaining this great policing tradition and for advancing the policing vision of the federal government through the various innovative policing strategies he has emplaced. There is no doubt that the leadership he has shown has defined pathways for the restoration of police primacy in Nigeria. In concluding, I must clearly recognize that the nation expects so much from the police. It remains my expectation, therefore, that the annual Police Week celebrations will continue to present an opportunity for the service to reevaluate and entrench new strategies that will reassure the citizens of its capacity and willingness to address the apprehension of crime. It is on this note that I congratulate the Nigerian police for successfully hosting the 2016 edition of the Police Week and for capping up the event with this beautiful and unique parade. As you march out to continue your arduous law enforcement functions, it is my prayer that God continues to protect and guide you. May God continue to bless and protect the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. May I still crave your indulgence that this is one aspect of a function that you expected to have performed there, which is, one, delivering your address. And we want to thank you enormously for the appraisal given to the Nigerian police force, in particular, the leadership exemplified by the Inspector General of Police, Solomon Egato Erase. Another big round of applause for the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces. He'll stay back there for a very quick presentation of medals and laurels to some deserving police officers who have, over the years, distinguished themselves in their various fields of endeavor. First on our list is CSP Abba Kyari. CSP Abba Kyari, please. I'd like that all the recipients would move forward and stand very close to the podium.
That's right, Andy Gabriel. We have with them CSP Abakari, ASP Umar Bello, Inspector Ajayi Kikelomo Florence, Inspector Olaruwaju Dudola, and of course, Corporal Yal Yellow. They're all ready. Please move to the podium.
Just as they have been announced, they're marching forward, right there. led by CSP Abba Kyari. The name Abba Kyari has become a household name in Nigeria, especially in Lagos State. Mr. Kyari is a Chief Superintendent of Police, CSP, in charge of Special Anti-Robbery Squad for close to 5 years. The name, however, means different things to different people. The name is a pride to the personnel of the Nigerian police force. It is a name that connotes gallantry, safety, and reliability to the Lagos State government. But it is also a name that sends shivers into the spines of suspected, wanted, and fleeing armed robbers. Sadly, however, Mr. President, Kyari has been transferred out of Lagos. Residents in Lagos, especially those who know the price of security, were not too happy when he was transferred. I present to you, Mr. President, for these award, Presidential Media Medal for Courage, CSP Abba Kyari. Please a round of applause for him.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, while CSP Abba Kyari is being decorated by Mr. President with the President's Medal for Courage, we'd like to now talk about ASP Umaru Bello with AP number 93782. ASP Umaru Bello was born on the 1st of January 1982. He is from Bauchi, Nigeria. He is married. He was enlisted into the Nigerian Police Force on the 1st of February 2005 and was mobilized on the 24th of October 2008. ASP Umaru, who was an armored personnel carrier crew commander, responded when Boko Haram element invaded Damaturu, the counter-terrorist unit base, which is located on Maiduguri Road, has run out of ammunition. He went to the armory and collected 3,000 rounds of live ammunition and 50 smoke canisters and delivered it to the counter-terrorist base under fire. He still moved with the armored personnel carrier to the military base where he requested for a tank to support the PMF. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you for the President's Medal for Courage, ASP Umaru Bello.
Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the next is Inspector Ajayi Kekelomo Florence, who is standing right in front of the President. Inspector Ajayi Kekelomo Florence is an indigene of Ifedore local government area of Ondo State. She was born on the 28th of April 1977, was enlisted into the Nigerian Police Force 1st January 2001, and was last promoted the rank of Inspector on March 29, 2008. She's done so much for the police force, thereby this recognition for the President's Medal for Merit.
Right now before the President is Inspector Olaruwaju Durodola, who was enlisted into the Nigerian Police Force on the 1st of June 2009. She has done so much for the Nigerian Police Force and thus deserves this merit award that has been given to her this morning.
And Corporal Yelwa Yellow is an indigene of Eso in Edo State. Ondo. Okay. We thank you, Mr. President. Please, another round of applause after presenting medals for courage to CSP Abba Kyari, Medal for Courage for ASP Umaru Bello, and Presidential Medal for Merit to Inspector Ajayi Kekelomo and Inspector Olaruwaju Durodola. At this juncture, we are set for the cheers to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Headdresses. Remove headdress. Three headdress to the review. The President of Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, GCF, able represented by Adrahaman Tambazo, Minister of Interior. Help, help, help! Help, help, help! Louder! Help, help, help! Right! We replace headdress! Replace headdress!
All right, sir, I'm coming in. With this today, the force has demonstrated its firm determination to restore the pride of the force and reenact those practices which bind the citizens to the police. However, beyond the fanfare, the Police Week celebration conveys a deeper message. It provides an avenue for the police to appraise itself by celebrating its achievements in an increasingly complex security and crime environment, while also identifying the peculiar challenges in the fight against crime. It also provides an opportunity to identify and reward deserving officers who have displayed exceptional gallantry and professionalism in the line of duty, as well as those who paid the supreme price while discharging their constitutional responsibilities.
Ladies and gentlemen, the colors. Everyone is going to rise up again, and all commissioned officers are going to salute.
To the Senate, take post. To your standard, present arms.
May we all rise now, and all commissioned officers would salute. We all rise, please. Thank you very much. You may be seated. We also want to thank Mr. President. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you very much, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. We look forward to seeing you in the next Police Week by the special grace of God. Many thanks to the Chairman Planning Committee and all his members and other very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, events managers, and a host of others who have contributed in no small way to the success of the Police Week.
Andy Gabriel, that reminds me, we have to say a big thank you to the consultant as well, Omolola Adefushika. We'd like to thank you, and we'd like to thank the patron, DIG Danazumi Doma, and we'd like to thank every police officer who participated and made this a success. Thanks to all of you. May the good Lord bless you greatly. We look forward to seeing you again when the Nigerian Police Week comes.
A very colorful atmosphere we've had here at the Eagle Square, I must confess, with an array of smartly dressed police officers, very appealing to the eyes. Above all, the long-term objective of the Police Week celebrations is to bridge the increasingly widening gap between the public and the police, and to give a positive connotation to the popular saying, "The police is your friend." And on that note, I want to thank you very much for being part of the live transmission on the network service of the NTA, the largest TV network in Africa. On behalf of the outside broadcast crew, I'm Isaac Nkuma saying thank you.
We thank the medical team, we thank the riders, we thank everyone.
A positive self-image is a major key to success in life. The development of a positive self-concept is extremely important to the happiness and success of children. Self-image is how we feel about ourselves, and our behavior clearly reflects these feelings. A child with a positive self-image will have the following characteristics: act independently, assume responsibilities, take pride in accomplishment,